What makes dollar stores so cheap?
Welcome to the fantabulous world.
And honestly, I personally don't think dollar stores are that cheap. I think dollar stores tend to be a little bit more expensive over time, but we'll let them, let's let them talk.
Full of educational and children-friendly content. That's definitely what this is. So come on in. It's only $4 a month, and it's a lot of fun perks. Chris, why would you put that on the screen? You're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody.
Okay.
If I
questionable start.
The most popular retail chain in America, you'd probably say something stupid like CVS, Walgreens, Dwayne Reed, or Walmart, or Target, or perhaps BJ's. Do you guys love BJ's?
I think Costco is the number one most popular paid for store. It's either Costco or Sam's Club. I'm always going to Costco. Well, I don't always go, but other people always go.
It's very popular, but holy shit, how did they not see that marketing-wise? But the biggest retailer in the US by number of stores is actually Dollar General. In fact, there are more dollar stores in America than every Walmart, Target.
That is fair. Where I live, there's like 3 Dollar Generals within a half a mile vicinity of each other. So I can confirm dollar stores are everywhere. You could go out into the middle of the country, like bumfuck nowhere, and you'll find a dollar store out there. It's crazy.
Target, McDonald's, and Starbucks combined. Who doesn't love going down to the dollar store and picking up a new flavor of Faygo? Look, they got cotton candy flavor for only 25 cents. A fitting price for such a disgusting abomination. Oh no, it's not 25 cents. It's $1.25. Well, that's a little it's a dollar store. Why are we going over $1? What for a Faygo? What the f? I just don't get how you're gonna lie.
To be fair, I do remember when stuff in the dollar store actually used to be like 50 cents, 75 cents. Now everything's over $1.
About selling things for $1 and then not only that, sell me something that should be literally a nickel.
Valid.
It's cotton candy Faygo, and you're gonna charge $1.25 for that? Have some credibility. But that's just the thing. Hardly anything in the dollar store actually costs $1 anymore. They're all liars. They all sell things more than $1, and it's in their name. It's damn right unconstitutional. It's like if you found out I had a super small penis. I mean, my name's Big Tug. I gotta be packing down there. Start a rumor that I'm packing down there. And honestly, I can't think of one good reason why the dollar store would need to charge more than $1. Inflation? That's made up, print more money. But still, with prices so relatively low, it's no wonder that studies show nearly 90% of Americans have shopped at a dollar store in the last year alone.
I have not been in a dollar store once in the past year. I can say that confidently. I guess I am a top 10%er. I do not go to a dollar store at all. I don't believe in them.
However, other research suggests that as many as 36% of shoppers use these stores at least 3 times a month. And between 2008 and 2020, food sales at these stores nearly doubled. Now, is it because that's really sad because financial times hit hard and we had to get our meat at a dollar store? Yes, that's why it happened, I would assume. But man, come on down for the steakums, kids. We got it at the dollar store. You just know it's poison. Every line in that is poison. So not only are dollar stores everywhere, but they're quickly becoming a consistent component of the American diet. During a 2020 earnings call, Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso said, "We do very good in good times, and we do fabulous in bad times."
So what they're saying is we need another COVID to happen. That's what he really wants. He wants more bad times to come around, so then Dollar Tree start going up again. Start investing in that Dollar Tree stock, guys, before the market crashes.
He loves the pores, Teddy. Honestly, if everything's going so good all the time, sounds like you could probably afford to keep your shit under $1 there, Ted. But considering today's dollar is worth 47% less than it was 25 years ago, Ted's fabulous bad time seems to be here to stay. Tuglets, it's time
47% less?
of your couch and find the spare change, because today we're taking a trip to the dollar store and we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on over there. And also, do people find change between the cushions anymore? I mean, I haven't had a couch good enough to have cushions.
Thank you guys for the likes.
One slate of fabric. And even then, I mean, do people have loose change in their pockets anymore? I remember going between the cushions and getting ice cream money for the ice cream truck when I was a child.
Oh, hold on. Whenever I would get ice cream, whenever I got ice cream, I would always get the SpongeBob one right here. You see the ones, and then I'd eat the eyeballs first. I'd eat all the eyeballs out first of the SpongeBob. I would always get the SpongeBob one first. And then if I was feeling a little tricky, I'd probably go like the little rainbow pop. All right, hold on. I can explain though. Back then, you didn't have to worry about shit being gay when you ate a fucking popsicle as a kid, alright? But I always go for that one because I was like, oh yeah, multiple flavors in here. So, but realistically, always getting the SpongeBob, always.
Kids don't have that anymore. Chris, you can go to the next segment whenever you want. I'm just going to be talking about the ice cream man for a while. The roots of discount retail stretch back so far that they predate the era when a dollar was considered cheap. It's hard to think about now, but there was a time in America when a crisp George Washington was actually worth something and not filling up space in your pockets. What are you going to get for $1 nowadays? A cow tail? Plus, Chris, put up a picture of a cow tail. They're delicious, but they're fucking disgusting. Back in 1788,
God, thank you for the likes, man. You're going crazy.
You think I don't get money. How can that be true? Which is why the first discount stores were actually called 5 and 10 cent stores. Hey, nah, you see? The first of which was created in 1878
Hold on. I'll go over all that after this.
by the most 1878 name I've ever heard in my life, Frank Winfield Woolworth. Holy shit, that is an entrepreneur. Woolworth did live up to his name, however, becoming wildly successful by creating the first 5 and dime stores. The business model was so lucrative that it was quickly duplicated by other stores, spawning some of America's first chains, including what would eventually become the 20th century retail giant Kmart. Remember Kmart? That's why I said
I haven't shopped at Kmart.
Not around no more.
Like, I've only maybe shopped at Kmart like 5 times in my whole life. 5 times.
Store today. But of all the 5 and dimes, none were as successful or as influential as the 20th century Ben Franklin stores. Now, naming your store after a founding father is a bold move, especially when you're picking Benny Franklin, because that dude was a pervert. I mean, not only did he invent lightning rods, bifocals, and glass instruments played with wet fingers called the harmonica, but Franklin wasn't just inventing things, he was also a cocksmith. The dude loved him some French. He loved a French.
Yo, let me find out. Let me find out Ben Franklin in the cut just getting it on. Like, bro he said, bro, Ben Franklin had mad hoes, man. Watch out. Hey, don't let that brain fool you, bro. He had mad hoes.
As a country to get together and name a cheap little fucking store after him, and I'm sure he would be thrilled if he lived to see the day. Ben Franklin stores were everywhere. At the company's peak, they operated 2,500 locations. And in 1945, a World War II veteran named Sam Walton bought a Ben Franklin in Newport, Arkansas. The store was sold to Franklin for $25,000, and the sellers apparently were quoted as saying, "This dude's buying a lemon." That's not a direct quote. They wouldn't say this dude, but they did call the store a lemon. If you don't know what a lemon is, it's something that's right out the gate and he's probably gonna fail. But what nobody saw coming was the business IQ of this fucking shell-shocked war veteran. In 3 years, Walton's annual sales topped $250,000, which in today's money is about a trillion billion jabinka joints, because that's a lot of money back then. Eventually, Walton struck out on—
Bro, that has to be like that has to be worth like 2.5 million back then. You know, like with the value of money back then, that has to be like at least 2.5 million. 2.5 million.
Little store called Walmart. That's right. The basic principles of Walmart, one of the world's largest retailers, were fine-tuned in the dollar store.
Walmart is goated.
Merchandising and layouts that would influence the Walmart model.
As a kid, I would love to go to Walmart. Only for one thing though, just to go to the game section. Go to the game section, kill my neck, look at the screen.
Perfect. It's America. But it isn't just Walmart that claims roots in the Ben Franklin stores. This shit was wildly influential, turns out. In 1953, a Ben Franklin was purchased by K.R. Perry, whose son would eventually take up the family business by opening up a Dollar Tree in 1986. Remember the Dollar Tree? It's the whole point of the video. I've been ignoring that. I can't fucking write a script for the of me, but I'm glad I hope you've been enjoying this. Hope you get all your fun facts.
I know they took out the gaming thing, and that's the whole reason why I like going to Walmart as a kid. I remember as a kid when the new what was it, the Harry Potter game, when they had the new Harry Potter game in the little section, I would break my neck just to play it on the Xbox. I didn't get an Xbox. I had a PlayStation 2, so like Xbox was like foreign to me, and I was like, oh, this is so sick, bro.
Burnt out, guys. I can't do this forever. But it was 3 decades earlier in the 1950s when dollar stores began to take the shape we recognize today. Dollar General opened up in Springfield, Kentucky in 1955, and Family Dollar of Charlotte, North Carolina followed just 4 years later. Dollar General expanded to 29 stores and was doing annual sales of $5 million just 2 years after opening. And Family Dollar opened up 100 stores in its first decade, and then they opened up another 100 stores just a year after that. They were booming. Exponential growth. Chris put up a chart. The 50s.
I'm not gonna lie, my grandma funds these stores. She loves going to Dollar Tree and Family Dollar.
Gap of affordable and convenient shopping. Come on down, we're selling hams today. Plus, big box stores like Walmart, they weren't even existing yet. You had to wait a decade for that shit. And even when they did, they tended to grow at a slower pace. But this was the genius of the dollar store, and the reason they spread across the country like a weed. They require so little overhead, gang. So little overhead. Their buildings, inventories, and employees are a fraction of those needed needed by regular retail shops. Because I'll let you in a little secret, okay? If you have an entire store dedicated to shit that costs less than $1, you can only imagine how little that costs to actually produce and sell. They were making a crazy margin on all this shit. Smaller footprints
Was a crazy margin, not so much anymore with the price of food going up, and like just in general wages are going up. I doubt they have that big of margins. Would you get food from Dollar Tree? I would get canned food from Dollar Tree. I would not get like any kind of meats or anything like that, but perishables like chips, like I mean non-perishables. Chips, okay. Ravioli in a can, okay. You know, tuna out of a can, I would do it if I was really down bad. Anything canned or bagged, I would get. I would not get any meat, no deli meat, bread possibly, but that's it. That's it. Those are the only items I would get, and candy.
allows them to thrive in communities often overlooked by bigger retailers.
No
places
steak.
where it isn't
No
practical
steak.
or profitable to run a Walmart. And these places that I just described also happen to be full of the most desirable clientele for the dollar store, the poors. Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso says that their average customer is a woman in a dual income household that earns less than $40,000 before taxes, yikes, and has only about $800 of disposable income per year. It's not a great situation to be in. This makes much of rural America a prime spot for their industry. However, 75% of Americans
Makes
nowadays
sense.
do live within a 5-mile radius of a dollar store. So how does that
I live in like a 2-mile radius of $3 stores, and I'm not even joking when I say that. I got one at the front of my neighbor, I got one in the back of my neighbor, and then I got another one down the street. I got 3 of them. They're popping up like gas stations around me.
That amount of expansion makes sense with the average demographic of a discount shopper. These dollar stores aren't just in the shanty towns, they're in nice suburbs, and they're around the rich people. So how's that going down? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of show where I bring up the fact that shit's pretty bad right now, and it's been pretty bad for a while, and it doesn't look like it's getting better. The rich people are poor now. We're A Pew study found out that in 1971, 61% of Americans lived in middle-class households, which earned 2/3 of all income. And in 2023, only 51% of Americans were middle class, which earned less than half of all income. And I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers out here. It gets a little confusing when you start thinking about how bad things actually are, but they're important in this discussion because you can quote me on this. Chris, put up on the screen, numbers are business. That's the first thing they teach you in business school. You like numbers? Because that's business. What I'm saying is the middle class is shrinking, and that's a great thing for people who own dollar stores. To quote Vasso, as this economy continues to chug along and create more of our core customer, Jesus Christ, that's so dark, I think there's going to be more and more opportunities for us to get in and build more.
Yeah, as long as the poor people stay poor, we're gonna be doing great, guys. We're gonna be doing big business out there. Let's make this stock market go down to the ground. That's what they want. They want us to stay down, bro. This is crazy.
Up. I'm sure we're thinking of it in the wrong context. I'm sure he's talking to people who aren't poor, but oh my god. And this leads us to the consequences of the dollar store strategy. While they often like to position themselves as businesses that do good for the community by helping consumers stretch their dollar while providing access to shopping in underserved areas, they actually play a role in destroying local communities. And we're going to talk about that. As dollar stores aggressively expand, they're no longer just
Whoa. I didn't think dollar stores were going to destroy communities. It seems a little outrageous. Like, let me think about it. Like, because I like to think that they make things affordable for people that don't have a lot of income at the time. So this, I don't know. I just gotta watch. I gotta watch.
Suburbs, they're competing with local grocery stores and effectively wiping them out. Dollar stores often open up right next door to local businesses, and you can't compete with someone selling a $1.25 cotton candy Faygo. Reports suggest that it's typical for mom and pop sales to drop by roughly 15 to 30% after a dollar store opens, driving many of
I stand corrected. I see what they're saying. One of my favorite restaurants is a mom and pop shop, and there's a Dollar Tree right behind it. Like, literally, let's say it's a Jamaican place. They got the best jerk chicken in the city. All right, we have the Jamaican place, and then behind it, Dollar Tree. But I don't think it takes away from a business like that. Like, if the business isn't good, I feel like it's just going to take away from it because the business isn't good.
them out of business. Studies have found a substantial decline in the number of grocers within a 2-mile radius of new dollar stores, which lead to food deserts. And that's when an area it's really hard to get good, healthy food, so they have to go to like 7-Eleven and buy donuts in order to survive. It's a big issue, and dollar stores contributing to that. And this cycle continues as fewer grocery stores mean more business for dollar stores, leading to more dollar stores opening, destroying even more.
Hold on. Oh.
Stores. So at this point, I know what you're asking yourself, Tucker. Is this all this bad stuff you're talking about? Is this all worth the savings? Is this worth the $1.25 Faygo, which is the only item I currently know that sells at dollar stores? But honestly, that question might be a little bit of a moot point. Dollar stores have a penny pinching reputation that's made them a favorite among thrifty and low income households, but that reputation might actually not be warranted. After all, if you think about it, these stores are making an insane amount of money. In 2024, Dollar General's net sales topped 40 billion, while Dollar Tree raked in 17.6 billion, and Family Dollar made 13.25 billion. How could a business that keeps inventory so cheap make so much goddamn money? Guys, they do it by doing what everyone else does. They f over the customers. It's so simple. Why didn't I think of it? One of the most common tactics dollar stores use to increase profit margins is shrinkflation.
I thought they made most of their money off of selling balloons. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they made a lot of money off of selling balloons and party items. You know, like, because they have a lot of that stuff in there. Like, the balloons is right there. I don't know. Maybe it was just me as a kid. Like, I was like, oh, they got to be making a killing off those balloons, man.
Very chuggy.
Because I always wanted one when I went in there.
But it's actually real, so we got to pay attention to it. The term was coined in 2009 to describe the practice of charging the same amount of money for a product while slightly shrinking its size. Studies find that consumers are less likely to stop buying a product due to shrinkflation than due to a price increase. And they might not even notice a smaller Snickers bar. It might be a quarter-inch smaller. I wasn't paying attention, so give it to them. They don't give a f. But shrinkflation explains why many consumers might not realize that in 2022, Gatorade changed the side of its standard.
I did notice
from
this.
32 ounces.
I noticed
to 28
this.
Ounces. Gatorade.
Screw Gatorade for this, man. I noticed this. I felt it.
But unfortunately, shrinkflation.
Bro, I drink a soda in 2 sips. Of course, I'm gonna notice.
The vulnerability of their primary customer base. Now, considering practices like shrinkflation are going on, it's kind of hard to think about if you're actually.
Speaking of shrinkflation, I just be feeling like, you know, whenever I get a meal from a fast food place, like, I'm getting a little bit less. Like, the chicken in a Chick-fil-A sandwich, it's just a little bit smaller than the chickens I used to get. I feel like the chickens in the sandwich are smaller now. That's just me.
Actually saving
That's just me.
Shopping at these stores.
Maybe I'm crazy.
That's why we came up with a brand new game to help you navigate the discounts in the dollar store aisle. It's time to play Deal or No Deal. That cannot be right. That's already taken, Jimmy. You f***ed that up. I can't say that. That's a f***ing copyright. All right, that's why we're playing a brand new game called Thrifty or Shitty. Well, I can't say that over and over. I'm gonna get demonetized. Thrifty or Shifty. You dropped the ball on this one, Jimmy. The rules are simple. I'll show you a dollar store item, and then you get to decide whether it's cheaper to just get it at a local grocery store. And it probably is, because I love the deals down at Market Basket. More product placement. Go to Market Basket. They f***ed over Damula, but the deals are still there. All right, number one. Challenge number one. Mayo. Put it on the screen, Chris.
Thrifty. Saying it right now.
Jar of mayo. This 8-ounce jar of Kraft Real Mayo sounds like a steal at $1.25, which equals about 15.625 cents per ounce. Holy, what a steal. But honestly, I've never heard of mayo coming in an 8-ounce increment, so I'm already confused and a little bit suspicious. I also hate how it immediately labels itself as real. I know they're trying to differentiate themselves from mayo. What's that shit? Miracle?
You never get Kraft.
Disgusting, but
never.
I hate when anyone put, like, made with real sugar. I f***ing hope. What kind of fake sugar can you use? I don't know. Calling it real mayo makes it seem like it's a naturally occurring element on this earth instead of being whipped up with a shit ton of oil and eggs. Like, it doesn't grow on a tree, gang. It's not, real is a big word. Okay, so it's time to decide, Tuglets. Thrifty or shifty? Survey says a 30-ounce jar of mayonnaise runs about $40 at my local grocery store, which comes in at about 13.3 cents an ounce. Which some of you geniuses out there would notice that is less than the number I said earlier about the dollar store mayo. So you're getting Even though it seems cheaper, you're just buying less. All right, number 2, Thousand Island dressing. I'm pretty sure that's what they put on Big Macs. I've never had it on a salad. Again, we have an example of a weirdly small bottle, with this dressing again costing $1.25 for an 8-ounce bottle, or 15.625 per ounce, whatever cents, whatever. We got that. It's cheap. So anyway, thrifty or shifty? Answer.
Thrifty.
It's a little weird, actually. For complete transparency, the 8-ounce bottle available at the dollar store was Kraft, a name brand. And with that in mind, my local grocery store carries a 16-ounce bottle of Kraft Thousand Island for $4.29, which is approximately 26.8 cents per ounce. And that would make the dollar store version of this thrifty. However, if you're already shopping at the dollar store, I don't think a name brand is much of a concern, in which case you can get a generic Thousand Island for $2.49 or 15.5 cents per ounce, which makes
it's like, all right, at that point, it's not really making too much of a difference for me.
Pay attention to, you got to bring a calculator to the store, which is so fun when I'm shopping at a
It's not making that much of a difference.
3, ramen, the cheapest thing on earth. I remember back when these were 29 cents a packet. I don't know what happened to this country. Ramen is pretty much the cheapest way to keep yourself alive on this planet, so I was a little surprised to see this stuff at the dollar store charging $1.50 per pack. That is so much money. You just buy a can of soup for that. But it's a 5-pack. So if you do the math, each one's only about 30 cents, and that's a screaming good deal for a bowl of soup. But ramen noodles occupy a weird space in the culinary world. The type you make at home is incredibly unhealthy, accounting for 70.
Okay, but like, realistically, I can get a pack of ramen for $1 and you can get 5 for $1.50. I mean, that to me seems like a steal. All right, and I guess you can add that to the list. I would get ramen from the Dollar Tree if it's $1.50 for a pack of 5. That seems like a good enough deal where I'm like, that's a no-brainer, bro.
2% of your recommended sodium intake per package, and the kind you get at a restaurant melts in your mouth, and it's the best thing on earth. So it's a weird, I don't get it. But one thing I noticed is a 5-pack of ramen noodles is a little unorthodox. Usually it's a 6-pack. So my suspicion flares are flaring. Is it thrifty or shifty? Answer. Okay, we might be splitting hairs here because ramen is already so goddamn cheap, but you can get a 12-pack at a standard grocery store for $4.99, which is over 41 cents a pack. So this is thrifty, but with a pretty big asterisk. Keep in mind that these bigger packs of ramen do always go on sale. In fact, while I was writing this, you could get a 12-pack of ramen at my local market for $2.99, or a little less than 25 cents a pack. So whatever. Frozen pizza, number 4. This was one of the most shocking items I found in the store, because each one of these pizzas is $5 each, which is, it's a supreme pizza, but it's still a fucking frozen pizza.
But Red Baron is like notoriously like known.
So survey says thrifty or shifty, and I thought this was gonna be
I'm gonna just guess shifty.
No way could anyone in their right mind charge over $5 for a Red Baron pizza. But sure enough, they do. This same thing is being sold at my local grocery store for $5.99.
Yeah,
$1 more.
Yeah, I know. I'm a cold pizza connoisseur, guys.
Game, folks. I feel like we're losing, no matter what we do. How did it get so dark? This was supposed to be a fun history lesson about the dollar store. What's the next segment? Oh, good. The section is called The Human Cost of a Dollar Store. Fantastic. Dollar stores aren't always a value for consumers, and they often hurt local businesses. But guess what? They are awful to their employees. 92% of Dollar General workers earn less than $15 an hour, which, just in case you weren't paying attention, $15 an hour is not livable anywhere in the United States anymore.
Bro, I was getting paid $12.50 whenever I was 18. And then boom, bada bing, they had me frying chicken. I worked at Publix. They had me frying chicken in the back at 18. I'm like, man, this sucks. I need a raise. They would hire other people at 15, and I'm like, I need to get 15. I'm doing the hardest work in the kitchen. But eventually, I was like, you know what? Let me just be a cart guy. And then I just started pushing carts around the front of the, bringing carts back in from outside, but it's hot as balls outside. But I didn't mind it because I wasn't burning my face off trying to fry chicken. Either way, $15. This is crazy. $15 an hour, you can't even live off of it anymore. Like, I think the minimum wage should be like, what, 17? 17 seems fair.
Have to work with the bare bones staffing. Oftentimes, dollar stores only have 2 people working at once. And that makes things really complicated, considering that they're always trying to sell balloons at the front of their store. Just one parent trying to buy a balloon for their child that they love will completely f over an entire shift at Dollar General. Not to mention that since there's only 2 people working, you basically have to do everything. You ring people up, you stock the shelves, you clean. Go to any grocery store, they have like 40 people doing doing all those jobs. There are people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who don't even work remotely as hard. Former dollar store employees report being expected to work long hours with little or no overtime. So not only is this wildly exploitative, it's also extremely unsafe. Without time to take care of stocking, the merchandise piles up in the aisles. I don't know if you've been to a dollar store recently, but it looks like a fucking bomb went off. And federal safety inspections have repeatedly found blocked exit routes, fire hazards, and unsafely stacked merchandise. In 2024,
They do be filled to the brim in the aisles. They be filled like crazy.
Safety violations. And nothing changed. They were just like, yeah, we do that shit. Here's the money for it, but we're not. It's way cheaper to just not pay these people than it is to pay you guys, so it. But a blocked exit is the least of your worries at the dollar store. Because of their lack of security and small numbers of employees, they get robbed all the time. There's
imagine having the job of being, oh, I'm a dollar store, what do they call it? A secret shopper in the dollar store. Dude, there would be one guy in there. And of course, like, you know, the regulars go to dollar stores all the time. Like, there's no way you can have security. What, you're gonna have a cop sit at the front of the door, look at every aisle? Like, the cop's like thinking, I don't get paid enough for this. But imagine, I might start a business. That's a business idea, guys. Secret shoppers for certain like companies like Dollar Trees, and you just mix them up and you send them around to different locations every time. But it's like an agency. I think that's $1 million idea.
And each 50-50 coin flip. If you walk into a dollar store, it's currently in the middle of a mugging. In Dayton, Ohio, 81 criminal incidents were counted by police at dollar stores in 2023. And while the majority of them involved theft, several of them were robberies. Robberies are incredibly common at the dollar store. And I know they're an easy target because they got one dude called Todd running the shop, but how much money could you squeeze out of a fucking dollar store? I'm sure they have $20 in cash behind the register, but man, they think it might be worth it because people die a lot during these. According to data from the Gun Violence Archive, 172 people have been injured in Dollar General stores since 2014, and nearly 50 have died. That's too many. I mean, death is always a tragedy, but we're averaging 5 a year here. One Ohio
dying in a Dollar Tree is crazy.
Dave Dukes actually experienced 3 armed robberies, so many that the company sent him to other stores in the region to train employees on how to handle themselves while a gun is being pointed.
This guy is the GOAT. He's the GOAT of Dollar Tree. You know, like you're like, all right, listen, you stopped 3 robberies, bro. I mean, he's basically an Avenger now. He's an Avenger. Put him in the Avengers.
Hit at them. But after his 3rd robbery, Dukes hit his limit and he started bringing a gun to work. I don't blame him. And of course, he got robbed again at Dollar General and he shot the dude and killed somebody.
All right.
All of this over cotton candy Faygo. All right, this is okay.
I mean,
bad.
Fair enough, though. Like,
we gotta make this fun. Okay, goofy dollar store names in other countries. That's more like it. Okay, we'll end on a fun note. We'll just talk about this, how the Europeans name their dumb shit. In Germany, you get 1 hero shop, which is pretty boring. Japan has 100 yen shops, which is kind of fun. I don't get why Asian countries have
1,000 rupee shop.
So much though. I don't get that. Like they're like, oh yeah, that hamburger costs 14.
I hope he does India. I want to see India shop.
Make it 14. Take a couple zeros off that bitch. I don't know why we do that. Like South Korea, 1,000 won shop. Like make it $1. Why? Just cut the zeros off of it.
Mr.
Vietnam,
1000.
10K stores. You see what I'm saying? Dollarama in Canada. That's fun.
That's
a
cool.
Fun one. The UK used to have a 3-penny stores, which sounds dumb, but now they have Poundland, which is where I took your mother last night. And
Poundland is crazy.
I have no clue. I don't know. Chris, put it on the screen. I have no clue how to say that. There's a 5 in there. 5's watch. Nothing like a little xenophobia to take the edge off. But before I go, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I don't think it's bad to shop at the dollar store. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. And I'm not shaming anyone for doing it. You guys aren't the problem. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes you can really stretch your George Washington shopping at these fine retailers. However, I think it's important to realize just how these stores work, and that's by feeding off of our misery. They give less, they charge more, they destroy small businesses, and create practically death traps. As one retail researcher expertly put it, what the dollar stores are betting on in a large way is that we are going to have a permanent underclass in America, based on the concept.
I mean, they're not wrong.
And the job
there will always be broke people in America.
Better in any of these places.
There will always be broke people in America.
Thanks for watching Big Tug. New videos every Saturday and sometimes Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things. Shout out the extra Tuglets.
Great video.
Boys, they're all
Big Tug. What makes dollar stores so cheap? Well, we kind of figured it out and then we kind of didn't. I think at the end of the day, dollar stores are just cheap because they get stuff that is cheap and they sell it for a cheap price that's obviously marked up from their cheap price. So that's what I like, to keep it simple. But yeah, this is a good video. I like him. Gave him a like, hit him with the subscribe.